the video preceding this one, that's immediately preceding this video, right, you're watching right now, I introduced the concept of mailing list database mining, and I told the story of how very recently, I think on the 26th of November 2021, I think 3 days ago, I won over another client using what I call a low entry fee pricing. And basically he had been somebody that had been on my mailing list for several years and had been receiving all my updates, my newsletter and all that, but never made a purchase. So the strategy I use has to do with what you call the mailing list database mining. It's something I strongly recommend, and I promised at the end of that clip, that recording, that I would actually share another story, another true story from way back in 2016 this time around. So I've been doing this for years, for so many years. I've learned a lot, and I developed some of these strategies by just studying the marketplace and adapting ideas from other markets, especially places like America. All right, so this is a true story about a client who had actually made a purchase from me previously. So it wasn't like the other one who hadn't bought anything from me. This person, I think just some months earlier, had bought my Poultry Farm Manager. At that time, the exchange rate was reasonably better. In 2016, things were much better than they are now, and so I was still going with kind of the standard exchange rate for the naira to the dollar. So whatever it basically the software was selling for $375, which was equivalent of 75,000 naira, around, I would say 2014 thereabouts. Anyway, so that was basically it. So he bought it. He's somebody that was working in a big company, but in his private life he had his own business on the side, which was the farm. So basically what happened was that he was interested in an SMS I sent. I do this all the time, maybe on the weekend, towards the end of the year. Sometimes I would do it. In this case, let me try and check. Yeah, so it was in the last 3 months of the year, the Ember months. So this was in September, I believe. So basically what I did was I decided to do an offer, all right, in which I was proposing that people buy one of my applications that was not necessarily relevant to the needs of my farm business owners, because like 80% of my clients are, if I'm more than 80, but probably 90% of my clients are actually farm business owners. A few are web marketing clients, but a number of my farm business owner clients are now becoming web marketing clients as well. So we've taken the relationship to another level. All right, so and that's part of the mailing list database mining thing we're talking about, by the way, because these are people that bought my software. Some of them bought my software way back in 2008, but today I now handle the web marketing for their brands, because many of them, following the pandemic, have actually adopted web marketing as an option for promoting their businesses. Right? Some of them are actually even becoming my affiliate partners, where they are reselling some of my products with my support. They are rebranded for them and all of that. You can see how I've taken the relationship from just selling a unique individual single product to providing a kind of suite of solutions to them. That all has to do with kind of routinely running through the database of contacts and clients you have and representing various different offers to them, all right, in a manner that makes them decide to sign up periodically. So you continue to get repeat business from these guys. You make more money from the same set of people, even as new ones come on board and join the pool. That's what mailing list database mining is all about. So this guy, I send him an SMS. It says, as you can see on the screen, I'm in the spirit. Tomorrow, Sunday, get a free copy of my Excel video record, Church Records Manager, 50k value. This was actually an application I built for a very big Anglican church in Lagos State, in Ikeja. One of the oldest, well recognized too. The People's Warden hired me to build the Church Records Manager because he was my client in a different market, and because he functioned as the People's Warden in spare time for the church, he had looked for a solution they could use to capture the church records. They had elaborate church records on paper, but he wanted something new. Knowing what I could do in Excel, he hired me to do it. So anyway, this was a product I built for him, and then, like I normally do, I'll take it and make modifications to it for make it more generic, and then I offered it to people. But I was thinking, when you have all these kind of digital products, they're called cash flow generation assets, and I call my own digital cash flow generating assets, because of course they're electronic. So I look at ways I can use them periodically to get additional income, and it costs me literally nothing, so I can literally give them away as well. Sometimes I give them away in order to make a sale of a different product or a service. So I'm mentioning all these things because I want you to have an idea of just how variable the opportunities are. You have such a range of possibilities you can explore. It's just for you to keep an open mind. All right. So I said to myself, listen, tomorrow is Sunday, so I send the message. Why don't I just make an offer to people who are religious minded? Maybe some of them are looking for a software for their farms. For their business, for their churches. And funny enough, I knew that some of my clients who are my farm owners were actually workers in churches. Some of them are deacons. Some of my clients in software development are deacons. Some are pastors. So it turned out anyway, as I recalled when I was sending the message, that this guy was a pastor. So I just felt it made sense to send it to him. So as I get a free copy of my Excel VB Church Records Manager, 50k value, see your email, note, offer expires at noon. I mean, you can get that. I was sending this message, I think in the earliest of the morning, maybe like at 4 a.m. It wasn't daybreak yet, it wasn't dawn, so, and I was telling them it will end at noon. I have trained my clients to understand that if I make what is called a flash promo offer, it cannot be open-ended like a normal offer. If something is supposed to sell for 10,000 naira and somebody offers you for 1,000 naira, you cannot demand that person leave it at 1,000 naira until you are ready to come and buy it at 1,000 naira. The whole idea of giving it to you at 1,000 naira is probably he wants to make a 10,000 naira sale in 1/10 of the time. So if he offers you 1,000 naira, he's probably offering it to 100 other people. So then he gets 100,000 naira. Now you can't tell him he should leave you 1,000 naira till you are able to find 1,000 naira to come and pay the 1,000 naira for something that is worth 10,000 naira. Some people have made this argument with me and I just laugh it off. I just tune them out because it's a joke. You don't tell MTN, who is giving you 2 for the price of 1, to then keep the offer open until you are able to gather money to come and take up the offer of 2 for the price of 1. So just understand, if you are doing this kind of offer, you've got to put a time limit on it or nobody will take you serious. It's your prerogative to decide to change the time limit or modify it, but that will be your prerogative. It's not for the people who are supposed to take up your offer to begin to dictate to you the terms and conditions you should provide your offer under. It's very important to understand that if you're going to do this thing right. If not, it's going to be a mess. All right. So I did that, and then he replies, client, he's the client, says, do you say free? I said yes. Go and read your email first. 12 noon is not far, and then he said, I was just joking around. These are guys, I build relationship with my clients, so some of them, the way we talk, you would think we've known each other for decades, and yet some of them are just people that have been with me for some few years or sometimes a few months. So I told him to read his messages and all that, and he said okay. He said, here's my email address, and I had to make the comment there that he still assumed that he needed to give me his email address because he did not understand the kind of person I was and the kind of system I was running. First contact, I always get 2 things from people, and I always recommend you do this. If you really want to do marketing effectively, get the phone number, get the email address. Those are 2 of the most important means of reaching out to people when you are a person that wants to make sales. If you have those 2 different resources, the phone number and email, they allow you to literally reach out to these people whenever you want with whatever message you have, in case you want to make sales to them, sales offers to them. So I already had it. I had already sent the email. As of the time I was sending the SMS, the email had been dispatched to him and others, but he still texted his email address thinking I needed it. So that's notable because he had no idea just how well I profiled him. All right, so then I said, you see this man, I don't send. So I was using Nigerian pidgin here, and I had already sent him the email before I even sent the SMS to him. He needed to understand that. Then he replies, you are blessed by the Most High. Remember I said he's a pastor, so I kind of mock him and say pastor, I mentioned his name and laughed it off. So by way of interest, here's the email offer I sent to him, in which I wrapped a full price offer of my new audio podcast product, the one on Biafran alternative food formulation ideas, the one in which they were looking at, based on their lessons from their experience of the Civil War, okay, where they were blockaded by the Nigerian troops. All right, so I wrapped that around the frigate of my church records manager software. You see, the church records manager software was something I knew I didn't have like a big market for, and those were not my target. I mean, my target audience is not the religious group. It doesn't mean I have a problem with them, it's just that they're not my priority. My priority were farm business owners and other people in business, all right, business users generally of Excel, for instance. So I wanted to focus on that group, but I knew I had this product that some of them who were religious may find of interest, but I wanted to give it like as a token, as a kind of kind of make a gesture of goodwill by giving it to them literally close to being free, if not free. So that was it. So here's the email: get a free personalized copy of my Excel VB driven church records manager, 50k value. Tomorrow is Sunday and I'm in the spirit. Get a free copy of my when you buy my new audio podcast titled Amazing Story: How Biafran Scientists Innovated Low Cost Animal Feed During the Civil War Using Zero Cost Local Ingredients. All right, I put the URL. So I said the price is 2.5k. all right, pay to the bank, or like some buyers do, send airtime to a mobile number I sent you. That's another way I make sales. Several of my clients will confirm that I have sold stuff to them, maybe sometimes audio recording, podcasts, voice notes, by just allowing them to send airtime. Sometimes airtime to the tune of 2,500 naira. They just send it. Sometimes it's convenient for them to do that. So I paid, I get instruction, pay to the bank, or like some buyers who send airtime to a mobile number I sent to you, reply yes to claim it. And so I'll see yes coming to my phone. Sometimes one of my kids will help me respond to them. So offer expires 12 noon today, 17 September 2016. Enjoy your weekend. So I put my name, I put my website address. And you see, in order to do all of that, I actually have to profile my clients. So that's what I'm talking about here. Look at the article. This article I actually wrote about this the story, okay, and basically I talk about the manner in which I go about it, okay, because when you profile your clients, it means you are getting the important information about them: phone number, email, contact address, job title, full name, things like that. You get that at the first or second contact with the client, and then subsequently when you're doing your marketing, preparing your content, your promotional content, you use your knowledge of the profiles of the different people who have joined your mailing list database, who have now become your subscribers, and some of them are your clients. You use that knowledge to determine what you are going to prepare as new content to send out to them, and then of course that influences also what you send out to the world as well, but primarily to them. Then based on that, you begin to kind of milk the database, you milk the system, getting them to, because you're new, you're hitting their hot buttons because of your knowledge of their profiles. You know that it's most likely you're going to get a response or two from some of them, and then you work on that response and close the sale. All right, so anybody that refuses to do this will get ignored if you don't profile your customers, okay. I put them through the process in which I ask them questions, those are things that enable me to know exactly where to place them in terms of my understanding of the needs they have. All right, so this gentleman had bought my portfolio manager some months earlier, and then he came back and he was responding to this offer I made. So back then on WhatsApp, he had actually responded to my offer, okay, about the same church records manager, but I think, let me see what he said here. That was okay, the video and okay, he had actually asked, interestingly, looking at it here, I realized what happened was he had read the article I wrote to promote the app sometime in September 1 or so, okay, and then he had said, that the software was built 8 years ago. He wanted to know, he said the video and download links weren't active anymore. I told him that I had replied that the app was free for any person who paid to join my Excel VB club, okay, and I told him that there were no video and only screenshots. Yeah, that was true. I didn't do any video for that. Like I said, it wasn't the product I really wanted to push in front, on the front burner based on my brand. So so I just mentioned that if you wanted to get the app, you could get it by even paying directly if you didn't want to join my Excel VB club. So at that time he hadn't responded, so I made a mental, you see what I'm saying about profiling, I then made a mental note that he was one of those I would actually reach out to if and when I decided to put up the product again for sale in whatever form. All right, so he will now respond to the new one, and eventually a lot of people bought this Biafran audio recording thing, so, and if they did, then I just send them the product. I do this so often and so and I've been doing this for so long that sometimes I can't even remember fine details for some of people. But it's been a very successful strategy, and I'm sure you get the idea. Excuse me. I'm sure you get the idea of what I'm talking about. So this is an example of how I sell, and I learned to think about money making this way 24/7 by studying the ideas that were advocated by people like Robert Kiyosaki in particular. A lot of the strategies I adopted, they're not exactly the way he described them in his book. I just creatively adapted them for use in my own market, for my own kind of product range, because I don't do business the way he does business at all. The stuff I sell are not even remotely resembling the things he's promoting. So but this is about ideas, and those ideas have really helped me a lot. His ideas have really changed my life. All right, so I have many other applications like that I can treat the same way as the Excel VB Church Records Manager. And so instead of letting them just stay idle there on my system or in my cloud storage channel, I periodically think of which among my clients might find it useful, among my subscribers, and then I just put up, based on their profiles, I put up a promo offer and I offer it to them. Remember, these are digital products I created many years ago. So in many cases, they could just be there and they'll be useless to me, but I still look at how they can be useful to some other persons or groups of persons, and I prepare a message and I make the offer. So the thing to note here is that because I have this range, and it's actually growing library of different potentially useful digital cash flow generating assets, these resources, some of them are Excel applications, some of them are information products, some of them are information products in written form, PDF, in video form, or in audio form, MP3s, and so whatever format they might be in, they can potentially add value to people that fit my target audience profile. And so what I do is periodically I look at my target audience, I look at the time of the or season that we're in, and I decide what may be relevant to their needs at that point in time, and I make an offer to them. Quite often I do make a sale. And what I'm pointing out to you is that if that is possible for me, then it can be possible for you. First of all, you have to build the foundation, however, and that means you start by building up your own mailing list database. If you have any questions about how you can make use of the ideas I've shared here, just reach out to me using the contact details on your screen. I wish you well.